Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. Back with another video detailing the fucking nightmarish grind of economy rides on a Monday. Today started with a lot of. Today started off well. Like the morning rush went pretty well I'm here looking at the back of my Infiniti right now. It went really well considering the fact I was only doing economy. I'm going to be driving my Infiniti all week next week because of the NBA All-Star Week. But with the lack of premium rides, I've been noticing it just doesn't make sense to make the same amount of money driving the Infiniti as I would driving this car. So I'm driving this car. So this morning, woke up 8 miles into the city. Did my first ride at about 4 something. Let's see here. I think I got my first ping at like 4:10 maybe. Let's see how good my memory is. So, I'm counting this last ride because I reset my trip meter at 4:12. So yeah, turn my app on at 4 a.m. Lux only. And then I'm like, okay, I need to knock out 3 airport rides this morning. Did I turn off my do not disturb? I did not. There we go. I told myself, like, okay, I need to try to knock out 3 O'Hare rides before 5:30. That way, at least that'll put me around $60 before 6 a.m. Right? Didn't happen. I got that ride at 4:12. That took me to O'Hare. And then, so I did that ride, 8 miles. Or I started eating miles, and then I noticed a $3 or a $4, $4.36 power zone in Rosemont. So I went to go load that up really quick. Loaded up, got back in the city. At that point, I got another ping, but this one was headed southwest to Midway. And I think that ride kind of fucked me a little bit, because if I would have gotten that same ping to O'Hare, I might have been back. Because how long was that ride? 22 minutes. I could have potentially knocked out another airport ride if that was an O'Hare ride. Maybe. Not saying for sure. Maybe. And that paid well only because of the power zone I had. So unfortunately, because that ride took me to Midway, there isn't too many rides going back up northeast towards the city from Midway at that time. So I dropped that past drop around 5:30ish. Used my filter, headed back towards the city. I got one ride with a small power zone attached. The filter expired. And then I remember I was by the north side by, like, I want to say Clark and Fullerton. No, I wasn't that far. I wasn't that far east. I was probably about Bucktown then. Yeah. And then I got a ping that took me, it said 20 minutes northwest. So I'm like, okay, that's obviously, I didn't want to use another filter because I already burned one. Filter. So I'm like, okay. I was willing to take the hit on a couple pings just so I didn't leave the city, because even though power zones don't compare to surge, you're more likely to get good, decent power zones like between 7:30 and 9 a.m., right? So my goal was to stay in the city. The first ping I got on economy, that 169 said 20 minutes northwest. I'm like, okay, that's definitely not the airport. But I'm like, where could that possibly be going? I was like, Rogers Park, It's like, that's not so bad. It actually ended up going to like almost by Lincolnshire. And then luckily Lyft gifted me a power zone, a really small one. It was $2.30 something cents, 38 cents. So I load that one up, got the ping, but then unfortunately that ride took me south It said 43-minute trip south. And part of me was like, where the fuck? I'm like, there's no way. I thought that was, maybe traffic was really heavy. It was going downtown. No, it was going all the way to Englewood, right? So knock that ride out. That took 42 minutes. And then, where do I not want to be? You guys have seen these vlogs before. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be that far south at that time on a Monday morning. I want to be around the loop, right? So, okay, so where was that ride? Okay, so that ride ended. And before the 8:45 ride right there, no, wrong. That was my fault. Okay, the 6:59 ride ended. Yeah. Okay, so here's what happened. I turned my app off to see if because sometimes after you complete a ride, you'll be right next to a power zone, right? Kept my app off. I turned it back on, no power zones in sight. I'm like, okay, I don't want to use my remaining filter. So I'm like, let me take a risk and try to get a ride going north. I turned economy back on. Got a ping. At this, I had 94% acceptance rate this morning. I checked. No trip direction or duration. So I canceled. The next ride, since I'm on the south side, where was it going? South. Denied that one. And at this point, I'm trying to turn my Lyft app off. Every time I try to turn the Lyft app off, I get another ping. And I get 2 pings in a row without trip direction or duration. So I turn my app off finally. I get another ping. I start driving towards it. I'm still 15 minutes away because it's by Hyde Park. And I just cancel on them. After I cancel on that ride, I turn my app off. I canceled the ride. And then I did get a power zone, which was that one, the $6.17 one. I maxed that one out. Then luckily this ride took me north. Thank God. So this ride took me back up north. I figured when that ride ended, I would be able to load up a power zone on the north side, and then whatever happens, happens, whether it be airport ride, whatever. That's not what happened. I actually got a pretty lengthy ride going further north to Lake Forest. Let's check that out. And then, so for the morning, that wasn't so bad. I was at like $151 with the cash tip. In about 5.5 hours. I mean, for economy, it's really not bad. I did have to eat a lot of miles between airport rides, but then my day kind of went to shit right after that because I was not in a rush to eat miles after all the miles I already ate that morning. So I did that ride. What ride was this? I don't remember this one. Huh. Oh, that's the one I wanted. Yeah. This was just a good karma ride. And notice this is one of the only tips I got today. I got this stacked ping before I dropped off the one passenger that I picked up from Chicago. I took him north. I get over there. I remember a passenger starts walking over to me and waving, and like it didn't look like the girl on the profile picture, right? So she gets in the car. I'm like, and I think it was something with an E, like an Evelyn or something like that. I'm like, hi, are you like Evelyn? She's like, no, I'm whatever, I'm Lindsay or something. And she goes, didn't look anything like her. I'm like, do you have the right car? And she's like, no. What happened was, she said her phone was acting up, so a stranger ordered the ride for her. And I guess the girl gave her like a little bit of money, and then, so it was just like one person helping out another person. So that happened, and then I completed the ride. Like, this could have been me scamming the one that ordered the ride. This, as I was dropping this girl off, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I really wanted to, which I didn't, obviously, I could have pulled a scam job on this passenger. I could have fucking I could have just taken this ride all the way back home or to the airport. And yeah, but I mean, obviously, no, I'm not going to do shit like that. That's dirty. But then surprisingly enough, like, even though the person ordered the ride for somebody else, they still felt it, they still were cool enough to just add a, add a tip. That's like an 80% tip right there, 70% tip. That's fucking, that's just crazy. People, there's some decent people out there, right? So that was kind of funny. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I've never had somebody else, a complete stranger, order a ride for someone else at a grocery store. That was the first out of like 19,000 rides. And then everything since that, the rest of the day was pretty much a bust. So that ride happened. As you guys see there, I had to wait almost an hour for my next ping. And then, believe it or not, my app was turned on the entire time. I told myself I'm not gonna eat miles until like 11:15 a.m. I warmed up my food, I ate, I relaxed, and then around 11:15 I realized, like, yep, well, gotta do something, gotta start moving. So I started eating miles, and then the rest of the rides were all pretty short. I got one decent ride that took me from downtown to Evanston, and then the rest of the time was spent up in Evanston doing shorties until I got the airport ride to close out my day. So for about 11 and a half hours today, I'm gonna go ahead and say $220. I mean, if I would have, what I wish would have gone better today, like if I would have closed out my morning downtown, I would have just worked out, gone to the gym, and I wouldn't have to worry about getting these little dinky rides, in the suburbs or in Evanston. That's usually how I like to do it better. I like to make, on a good day, I'll make most of my money in the morning, and then, like, let's say I would make $150 in the morning rush, then I'm okay just making $50, $75 extra in the afternoon. I'm not trying to, like, I'm not gonna grind it out and worry about, because you can do that in 4 or 5 hours usually, $50, $75, even if it's slow. But since I wasn't in an area where Lyft was in high demand, I was just kind of stuck getting whatever I could. And then in Evanston, I was just stuck doing really short rides. So that was my start to the week. I ate a fuck ton of miles. I'm under $1 per mile. It'll get better. It'll improve. It was all the airport rides, and eating miles from up north to the city was, didn't help. But yeah. All right, guys, that's all I got for this one. I want to thank y'all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.